Hello. Today we have another intensive session about e-commerce and website in general, and especially we are going to talk about today e-commerce and especially the content part. Yesterday we end the session talking about we'll talk about content today, right? Okay, so thank you guys and all the feedback all of you have been giving. It's a great. Thank you so much. And I got many questions. Tomorrow is the day for a Q&A. So some of the questions, if not all, because there are hundreds and hundreds of questions, we will try to answer tomorrow. So please send us the questions if you want to answer, in more specific answers for whatever we covered the last 1 week. Obviously, we will not be able to take all the questions, and many of the questions who are in the mastermind chat we are taking on a daily basis. Those who are not part of a mastermind, please send us the questions, and tomorrow we will try to answer most of the questions. Okay. So today is a continuation of the last 2 days of maybe last 10 days of the session which I have been doing. So major part is today about the content, website content, and we also talk about today about few important factors before you start any kinds of e-commerce business. These are two portions we are covering this one. And this both two topics actually in the offline world, when I have been doing a training various part of the world, and it was many people appreciated this word. Now I updated with a lot of new information based on the learning experience I got in the last couple of years. And some of those who attended earlier might feel the same, but it's actually added inserted a lot of points and a lot of examples. And some of the important thing is actually I changed the opinion based on the result we got it. So there are a lot of changes and that. So please pay attention, even though those who attended my offline workshops, whether it is in Malaysia or in Singapore and Dubai, even in Qatar or in India, you might feel the same, but actually an updated version on that. Those who are not attended, please pay attention. The website content, the word is called content is the king. Content not just a king; it's actually emperor. Based on a content, everything of our website, future or your business, online business, and the impact will be based on completely on a content part. Okay, so having said this, and another thing I just want to tell you, few of the comment on few of the queries on a practical aspect, as I mentioned previously as well, on a daily basis, please spend that 30 minutes which you are getting on a free of cost as a mentors. Please utilize that for a practical session. So that's the reason most of the time, that is I give out a URL or the screenshot of the website and the tools and the plugins and the platform which I was referring. So for you to easy to do that in 30 minutes time. So if you procrastinate, if you should further expand this, extend to do later, one is actually going to be huge workload for some later, and plus you will lose the touch. So even today, when you are talking about website content, so try to understand the content part and try to do a kind of a practical. Go and find out the website examples which you are mentioning. You also try to make some of the rules and strategies. In fact, there's one strategy and one business idea I'll be talking today. Okay, now. So I'll go to the I'll use the PowerPoint and we'll start the session now. Okay. Today, 13th of July 2020, Monday, 7 p.m. Arabian Standard Time. So today, 11th day of our 100 Days Digital Mastery Challenge. So I'm quite excited. The 10 days we did so many things, and so we got an overwhelming response. I'm glad that all of you are part of this, and please. Make sure that we implement the strategies and technologies and methods and tactics and techniques we are discussing about it. Okay. So now, whatever you start, yesterday we discussed about the website and landing page and funnel, and then we'll have a social media discussion is yet to come. Everything. What is the most important part is the website content, right? The content, how you write, and how you will have a content in your website. It's a very, very important part, and it is a challenge for every entrepreneur. Please accept that. This is the place you should be extremely patient. You need to be mentally ready to to have a good content. And most of the time, including me, many people do a mistake in hurry. We don't go for a quality. So if you are doing one business and you have planned to scale it up, be patient, slowly, steadily, get a good content and go. Do not jump it. Okay, this is important part. And most of the thing which I am talking, you may not finding we are doing So because of the many time we will not implement the real quality, we also content comes is that way. Content need, it's, at a time it will not come. No, you cannot use it a kind of a pressured way. Some thought, some words comes out and once in a while. So that's the way you need to do. So if you wanted to judge me, the content part, you go to admwebsitebuilder.com. That's one of the content in the beginning of COVID-19. We are free, nothing else to do at home. So that's the time I made. So that's the way. So whatever rules I'm talking today, you can see that all the rules, most of the rules we try to follow them. Okay, that's about the website content. Now, please pay attention and look at the few of the strategies we are mentioning, few of the examples we'll be sharing with you, and which is applicable for not only just a website, even social media, even a blog, and a few other methods, how you write and communicate to the people. So, so what exactly is the website content? Website content is it can be a text, can be a visual, or something oral. And all of you know, some of the website has there is something they'll read out to you. And content that user, wherever it comes, that's what actually we are covering. With the user will not encounter few of the things. I'm not covering here. Two things. One is actually part of a machine language, it's a programming language, so I'm not counting that. Second one is for SEO technique, as you know, we use a kind of user will not see, but a search engine will see. So that also I'm not covering here. Okay, I'm covering here whatever the user encounters. On a customer encounters. Okay, other two things we will discuss about. SEO time we'll discuss about how we use the techniques to rank the Google first page. So that's a different topic. I'm not covering at all that. But of course, I cover the rules of the Google instructed us or encouraged us to use for SEO, the density of the keyword, which we'll discuss today. Okay. Now, and website can also include text, images, sounds, videos, and animations. Okay, so this is also part of the website content. So which is majorly now the content, the world is moving towards videos. So more videos and images is important. So this is also part of the content part. Okay. Now the first and important part all of us should accept, including you and me, we don't actually read every paragraph and what is written. We just scan it, right? We need to just scan it, right? Look at it. Okay, that's the attitude of every user. Unless you are really interested before taking a decision, sometimes you want to know more details, sometimes you do not understand what you wanted, then you might read again and again. But otherwise, you just scan it, just look at it. So that's the way we need to keep it that in mind when we are making a content. So they are going to scan it. You need to come under that. You need the result, whatever your content objective, we discuss about it. You need to achieve from that aspect. Now, it's also a totally different format. The problem here is we studied in the universities and schools, and then we have an academic style of writing and learning. That's not the style for a website. And that's the biggest challenge, many of the people who, when we hire, every time in our company, always a few posters available as a content writer. It's a good content writer will be there. So then they see on a website, there's a content writer available, there's a post available, they apply. So then apply, they will not be able to cop up, even after 3 months or 6 months of a training, they don't change from the 15, 20 years. We cannot blame them, 15, 20 years, we practiced something on one day to change. Some people adapt quickly, some people may not do, So completely different way website content is written. So we cannot go the academy style of writing for most of the website. There are a few, maybe you are doing courses, maybe it's like an academy style. But you are promoting something, you are attracting, customers to come to your website and promote various products and services, or your corporate website, whatever the website category which we discussed yesterday. We discussed around 30 to 40 different category of the website. So all this category of the websites require a different style of content writing. So it's a completely different, that's one thing. Even it is also completely different, another printed form what you see around us. So it's not the style we need to have. So that's the first thing we should accept about the writing, content accept, okay? Now, okay, before we go ahead, I just yesterday asked you to Google it. Yesterday we discussed about the domain. Therefore, yesterday we discussed about the domain name, right? Name. That I also told you about go and find out who came out with the idea for writing, right? So today we're discussing about the content writing. So who came out of the content writing? Did you Google it? and you find a result. And what is the result you got it? You know who's the person came out with the first idea for writing. Google it and it's an amazing idea came out, right? So think about how people can think about this way and brought something to the world, right? Something amazing. So we are now all of us can communicate and interact because of the writing. Otherwise, it would have been a big, completely different world, right? So okay, now we come to the point. Website content should be relevant to search engines. So this is our first point. Now, we are setting up a website. I'm talking here as a business website. You want to make money with the website. You want people to come and buy the product from the website. For this, we need people to come, people to find us. How? They will search their products and services. They have the solution they wanted. They wanted to search something, what the people the issues and crises and problems they're going through. So all the thing is very, very important for people to come to our website. So they come through Google. Those come through search engines. So if you are not making that effort to be there in the first page of Google, so we have a huge challenge to succeed in the business. We need to spend a lot of money on other advertisements and social media, etc. So, but the best is, as I told you, 40 to 50% of the business we need from Google. So whenever I'm speaking to you, a business online websites or any other thing, I'm always thinking about people coming through Google organically. Okay, organically, not you're paying not money. I'm not talking about you're putting a search engine marketing. I'm talking about search engine optimization, where you and your product, your website is ranked in the top 10. So that's a major portion of SEO 101. We'll be covering that is 2 weeks from now. Search engine optimization 101. So in that, the first role you need to keep it is relevant for search engines. So relevance for search engines, there are a lot of rules. In SEO time, we'll discuss in detail. But keep in mind, when you write a content, an example I'll tell you, you need to have a 3 to 5% of the keywords when you write your website content, which means you write 1,000 words. So 30 to 50 words has to be your keywords. So this is one of the rules. Okay. And this keyword should not be an irritation for the real human being. You're writing this is for Google to rank for you. One of the major way you can influence for Google to get ranked. That's one of the best things. But at the same time, it's also for a human being. You should not feel you are how do I say you're forcing something up. Now there are many websites you can actually really understand the repeat unnecessary the keyword because they wanted to keep it 3% to 5%. That means 1,000 word 30 to 50. They may not find that kind of a word, pages, or they just dump it and put it. That's not be that. This you balance between the customers, balance and the search engine. So search engine is important, and at the same time, after people come to you through your search engine to your website, it's important for us to generate business as well, right? So we should consider both. So keep in mind, 3 to 5% of your keyword will be there in your content always. Okay. Now I would like to start the day with a strategy 11th strategy. I think so far 10th strategy. I think on top, right, or a 9th one. The YouTube that's a strategy everybody's putting on top now. When you rank all the 10. So 10th one and 5th one, right? AOBB and YouTube. So today let's see how you rate for this strategy on 11th strategy, which we're going to discuss about. When you write a content, you need to choose a rule called AIDA, AIDA. Okay. So this is an important rule of writing a content. So what does AIDA stand for? Action, desire, interest, and attention, or action. So this part, very, very important part. So AIDA is a concept. All the advertisement industry in the world use this concept. All the copywriters, all the creative writers, all the people put in a branding exercise, they use AIDA. So action, desire, interest, and attention. But in terms of website, it is an action according to it. It's not attention. But AIDA, the role in the management, I know those who have studied management, especially in the marketing, we learn about AIDA. So same thing applicable for online businesses. Okay, so how we write that one? So now when you look at the AIDA rule, so it's just look like in a kind of how the sales are coming to us, right? So one is actually attention via headline. So that's first rule. Then you need to create an interest with the subheadings. Then you also make a desire for him to buy through USPs and the freebies and offer and bonus, and take an action. This is the formula. This is a strategy you should use. So you will have a good content writers, or you may outsource the content writing. Or you will have a part-time freelancers to work for a content writing, or sometimes you yourself or your spouse or your friends, or those who are good at English or those good at writing, you might use them. But tell them to write like this. Like what? With the AIDA rule. So if you are interviewing, if you are recruiting a content writer, so the first few questions. Now, question number 1, you ask them back, how much percent of the keyword you use for while writing? They tell you. Then further, sometimes they may not answer you that, but you want to check with them one more level. Ask them, can you write based on the keywords? So many of the people don't know writing with keywords. If this to answer, if a person say she or he knows based on AIDA, she can write a content, and if she or he show you an example, you can hire her. Then this is important. Okay, when you're hiring someone, whether it's a freelancer, or you wanted to outsource, or someone is doing it for you, maybe your friend circle or anything. So this 3 things is very important. Okay, so if this is the minimum requirement for any content to be written, and not just written alone, but if there is an alignment, there's a picture, there's a videos, there is a link, there is an infographics, and so many things comes together. So this should be part of your content writing. Now, attention. How we get attention of the people. Usually, so through headlines, right? When a newspaper you see, so we look at the headlines first, okay? And below the headline there is a subheadings. If we are attracted to headline, immediately we do subheadings. So subheading will create an interest for us to take the next level. What is the next level? We have a desire. So the desire, okay, this is not bad. So based on a USP, unique selling proposition, we talk about freebies. You get free, you get special offers, bonus, testimonials. All the things can be a desire to create on it. So we'll discuss in detail about. Then I'll place an order. So in traditional word, AIDA, A stand for attention. Here in a website part, we call as an action. The action is, I want to click and buy now, if it is a sales website. So your objective should be the content, the last portion, that should be there, click now, buy now button. Sometimes you want a lead generation. You just register or download now the free ebook. Lead generation can. So it depends upon your objective. You need to define this and make the content. Hope it is clear on this part. Okay. So now one by one, we'll go to the next one. Now, this 80% of the headline, the outcome, if you wanted to get the people attention, it is based on headings. If you don't have a proper heading, you're playing with the 20% of the possibilities, because 80% outcome is based on the headline. So what you have written in the homepage and the landing page, or the funnel, the top of the funnel, or a beginning of the landing page, or on a home in the website, very, very important. And that is the most important thing you should get it. Okay. So it also increases the readership, and when the people look into that again and again. Okay. Now, you also should use, the headlines part and descriptive subheading. So you give a small description immediately. Sometimes the first one is attraction you wanted to have. You did not give out anything. You may have a 3 word, 4 words, 7 words. Then subheadings, you need to have that one. So now a few formulas to have how you have a good headlines. So start with magic words. So what are the most common magic words? All of you can think about it. What's the magic word? There are so many good magic words, right? So what is exactly the most common, most appreciated magic word? It's a free. That's it. So everybody want to know free. Okay. So this is what exactly your heading should be there. Something you can start with, you can end with, a middle, and highlight. So free. So you find out something you can give free of. Okay. That's important aspect. Now, once this kind of a headline you have, now you can also put a free till so-and-so date. So free till 30th July, free till 27th August, something like that. You can put a date, so that will give a good impact. Now, you can also highlight the features, special benefits about the product or the services, or whatever you're promoting it. So it's important to highlight the features and special benefits. Now, the most important part, this portion, you need to highlight your USP, unique selling proposition. So very, very important, because that's what exactly differentiates you from others. So need to have this one. We had hopefully all of you remember this discussion we had. So I'm not covering a USP now. Those who are not attended the day 5th, please go back to the records and go through the notes as well as watch the video. It is there. We discussed about a USP, how the USP works, an important occurrence. So very important to have any USP there. Okay. Now there are a few tips I would like to share with you. The first one is use simple English. If your website is in English, use a simple English. And very important, here it is not showing off your vocabularies. It is the objective is to actually people to buy, or you generate a lead, or you are whatever the objective of your website, that keep in mind. And depends upon your prospects. Now, your language. Now you are talking about something quantum computers, or you are talking about maybe an intellectual discussion about climate change, or you may be talking about something very, very intellectual. You may use that kind of idioms to, or maybe that kind of a word. But in general, a simple B2C portal or a B2B portal, keeping a consumers in mind, so you need to have a different approach. So this is a very, very important aspect. So simple English. So when we say simple English, you need to understand it as appropriately asking. It's I used to say the best example a professor told me. So he said when he was studying in Oxford University, so a few guys walking around the verandas of the Oxford University. So Oxford University English professor, you can understand what kind of English he uses. He called them and asked them. They asked him, "Why are you ambulating and perambulating in veranda?" So these are the questions is actually not real. Why you are doing here? Simple way you can ask, right? So exactly I meant this is so the simple way. So we can ask that way. So that's exactly the important aspect. So make it that way, the content. Now, another example I would like to tell you, why when we talk about the prospect, an objective. So this is a very, very famous tweet, came out from the ex-UN undersecretary who worked in various refugee camps across the globe, and he did a tremendous job in African countries, in Bosnian crisis time, and so many places. He worked as now he went through a crisis in his family life, and is also a political leader in India. So that's an Indian media crisis all of we are facing, because India. I think some of you might have seen a documentary by Al Jazeera, and across the globe now, medias are talking, global media are talking about Indian media, how biased they are, how actually it's gone. That's one of the major crises our country, India facing now. So one of the journalists targeted him from opposition party, targeted him, a journalist, telling her in a way that is indirectly telling us he murdered his wife. So he did not answer that one. So he did this tweet, and look at the language he used. Okay, and this is made a big impact. So I'm not saying you should use this kind of a word, but when I say simple English, it's also an important. Sometimes you need to use this kind of a words. Okay, so with this words many times, I was looking and laughing, this is what exactly went to the dictionary. It is not went to the Google. It's not there. Then when I threw the trend Google, it's a Twitter trend was going on, and everybody is talking on, and nobody knows the meaning of farrago. Okay, finally, Oxford University did a press release. Farrago means what? It was, this is what exactly farrago means. So you may also use, but because what the impact it has got, what the result he got it is, instead of the journalist topic, what the accusation was talking about him, nobody discussed. Everybody went behind, what is this word is all about it, and what is exactly he meant. And everybody has a good time, and end of the day, and even people forgot the journalist, and journalist people say, journalists don't know anything. He could not even reply. He did not understand till the Oxford University come with a press release. Okay, so you may also use this as a weapon. So it's not necessary always you should use a simple English. You can also use this kind of a part. Okay. Now, these are the things you need to keep in mind. Sometimes you are sending an email, sending a letter, There's a stage called observation we discussed with you. So that's one is. So for example, if I get a proposal, with a proposal, when I go to our chairman, founder chairman, Ex-Excellency Sheikh Jasim, the first paragraph, they always come back and say, hey, his English is good. That's the first thing, his impression. I know that's his thing about it that way. So that some people actually look in that language as well, even though so we are not discussing the language, we are discussing nothing about it. Sometimes a proposal to finalize, and maybe an approval, I'm waiting for that. That's the time also he is, actually just wanted 15 minutes to finalize this. Even that 15 minutes, many times I noticed that he look at the language. So there are people, even sometimes the proposal or other things, they prefer it's a good language. So that's also maybe it depends if you especially are doing a B2B, business to business, it might matter. So this is important, even though some cases you may not use a very simple English, little more good English or better English, better word, better language, better communicative way you might use on. Okay. Now you when you saw the website, it is like it's not like a textbooks. It comes with a lot of images, videos. So there are the paragraphs. You can keep your sentence in paragraphs. It's a short. That's why people like it. People read it. And you also try to use a lot of concise wording. This is an important, which is especially when I'm talking about academy style to write to normal style. This is a place usually people fail it. They come out with a lot of big words and so on, big words, and do not use that one. People don't have a time. How busy we all are, and you have millions and millions of pages, other things there. And even a person searching something, looking 3 minutes, 5 minutes, it's the maximum time you get from a consumer to buy something. So that's the time you want to convey the maximum thing. So do not make it like, I'll tell you a few examples. For example, she also the opinion that. That's one of the people use. Instead of that, she think that. So this is where you can have a concise word. Another thing, concerning the matter of, put it in a word called about. It's simple, right? Now, you can during the course of, just during is enough, but during the course is why it is required. Now, in the event that, use a if. So like this, you can make a simple word when you make a website, when you make a cheat, doing a tweeting or a Facebook post. You use this kind of thing, in the process of using it during or a while. And regardless of the fact that, although, okay. Now, for the simple reason that, because. So like this, if you change some of the words, it's become very easy for you, the people to read that one, and you reduce the length of the sentences, and post can be, when you go to, especially the challenge you're planning to promote through Facebook, they wanted to have a less content, more image, right? So it's always a challenge if you have, to convey with a less number of words and talking is a bigger thing, bigger communication. So if it is often the case that, so use the word called often. Okay, so this is the way you find a various alternative, making it a small and simple whereabout. Okay. Now, another important thing when you're writing a content, write about your products like offering a solution. It's a kind of a, this is a solution for the problems if they face, any problem. So that we discussed about the business means problem solving. So what exactly the problem you're solving? So this, you should think about kind of a problem solving here. Okay. Now that's the way you use, and especially in the websites, the design, look and feel is important. So different colors, different font, and highlight some of the important points. Use a different size of the fonts, etc. So that's the way you can have it. Now highlight the important words like a free, etc. And sometimes caption in reverse. Those who are familiar with the print media advertisement, we always give a caption in the reverse like this: buy 3 get 4 free. These are the caption in reverse. In online also you have another different form. Just example is the way it's written. So you can have that kind of a thing. Now you can also use a descriptive link. Like instead of click here, you say that if you're planning to have a small business, planning a successful business, then they click and go. So instead of click here for more details, it's quite irritating. It's put a description itself in the link you give them. That's a good one. And plus you have a huge number of product in your website. Use a list. So part of the content. So make a good list. As an example, you go to snapdeal.com. It's a good example of they made a beautiful list. So everything you wanted to have it in a one bird eye, and you can choose where you want to go. So this is a way, a good list you can choose on it. Okay. Now, special offers and promotion, as we discussed yesterday, people always wanted in the first page and home page to see that to be highlighted. Always, the content, always talk about some kind of an offer, some kind of a promotion. Okay. Then emphasize on a USP, as we discussed. So we need to go. USP is a part of our content always. We need to highlight it. So your USP cannot be secret. You need to always talk about your USP. Now that makes you different from others. Now we'll talk about something called CTA, click to action. Any communication, including website, email marketing, or social media, you need to have one thing in your website. Apart from AIDA, you should have a CTA. What is CTA? Click to action. You need people to do something. So you need a call for something. You need to have that action. So call to action is a traditional word people use, but here is a click is a major thing, or a touch, right? You need to have that one. So call to action is a traditional word they use like AIDA. There's a attention, interest is their action. Here is I said, here's action. Here's a call to action. It's a click to action. The person should click and take a decision. I mean, for that exactly we want it. So CTA is a very, very important on a part. Okay, call to action. So now, how do you make the call to action? There are a few techniques and methods many other people uses, and you can use this to increase the sales of your website, whether you're an affiliate website or a digital products website or a service website or e-commerce website or a B2B portal. Whatever you are having is important part. Okay. So you kind of you want people to take a decision immediately. You bribe them by giving, hey, you buy one, you get free one. You offer them now, okay, but a discounted price. So you said, buy now, you get this free. So then they take a decision immediately, because as a human being, we always wanted to later, we postpone so many things. So you want the customer to buy now, offer them a special something. Hey, the offer ended in 3 hours. You can see the button here. 3 hours, then come to 2 hours, something, then 1 hour, then again reminder mail, you get a message, you get it saying only 45 minutes left. So you buy it, all right? So that's one of the method, putting a deadline. And plus with offer with a deadline. Another one is actually, this you might have seen, I'm sure about it. It is only few products left. It is a very, very common with hospitality industry in the flights and the hotel booking. So you are checking a flight, like say the Doha to London. You see one is around 7,000 Qatar riyal or maybe $2,000 US. Another thing is a $3,000 or $4,000. So what do you do? Another one is actually there is a bracket written only 2 seats left. So you immediately buy, right? Otherwise you lose that one. So you will buy immediately. I'm not saying everybody is actually making it. There are companies making it. There are companies alive also. It's up to you how you feel about it. Same with the hotel rooms. And the rooms, actually, you see the different pricing and say, super awesome price is there. That's only one room left. So you'll buy immediately. And you can also sometimes see there's a technique people use. You're searching on a website, different room. Now 30 seconds is over. You're not taking a decision. Automatically they show that is now out of the 4 or 2 rooms, 1 left. One is already sold, now only 1 left. So you will immediately take it. So you can make that in your website that way. So it is this, of course, their strategy as well is pricing of the hotels and pricing of the flights. So the first few is a damn cheaper price. Then there's a price keep increasing based on a sales increase. So which is actually a reflection another way in a website you can keep it. So few products left out, now immediately people buy now. Okay. Now another thing is actually only few people it's available. It's only for first 100 people, first 50 people, first 25 people. Like that you said this, you said this, we can only give this way. So that's why people take a decision actually. Okay. Now another important part is the testimonials. So usually the people build confidence someone else is talking about. There are a huge chunk of consumers who trust the things if someone is already happening. So someone got a result. This is a very common psychology, and people trust that way. Someone else has got the result, then people copy, then people ready to accept. Okay, so people know that's the reason we need to have something called testimonials in the website. Someone talking about what the result they got about it. So earlier it is just in the advertisement you can see before especially the health products they say some kind of a nutrition product, somebody is thin, they can gain a weight, or those who are obese, they lose a weight. So before I'm having this is on a picture. Now I'm like this, I reduced the weight to so many days. You give a videos and pictures that people trust. And as earlier, anyone can do, but nowadays they're also connected to their LinkedIn profiles or their social media profiles. It has to be genuine. So genuine testimonial has a huge value. So genuine, it has to be original. According to me, you have to build a trust by having a genuine one, original one. It's not making it up. So many people do. People say, you pay me $100, I'll give you a testimonial. That should not be the fact. It should be original. Okay. So this is important part of your product and services when you offer testimonials. Then you also think about your target audience. They should be able to relate to you. Now your content, website content, people, those are industry or organization or whatever they do, they should be able, they have a kind of a language, they're kind of an idiom they use. They use kind of a terminologies. So your website also should connect there. And you also should, they should, you should be able to connect with them and relate with them in a couple of examples when you take it. Like, for example, you're selling shoes of a female or teenage females or young females, shoes you're selling. So that website should look very colorful, very glossy, maybe a pinkish in color, and show off that, that's the way she could relate it. The same color combination, you cannot show a mechanical engineer or an industry electronics products, or maybe to a chartered accountant. They will not be able to relate it. Same way, their website, when you look at you're promoting some industrial electronics, or you're doing something in a mechanical engineering product, automobile components, or to the B2B segment, or you're doing it to a software, or to a chartered accountant. So that subsite is completely different. And that same style, if you bring to the girl who wanted to buy your shoes, she'll not even look at the website. Yes or no? So she leaves it, and people will not be able to relate it. So this part is important. People should be able to relate to what the product and services you are offering. It's an important. So your target audience, based on the target audience, all the psychographics and demographics, you understand why it is important now. So based on this, your content writer is also important, not only just a campaign. So those who don't know about psychographics and demographics, I think day 3, it's in the recording. I spoke about demographics and psychographics. You can go and see. And anyway, now upcoming sessions on a campaign time, when we discuss about triple R strategies or a 3I integration strategies, we will talk about psychographics and demographics. Okay. So these days, I'll detail about how we can analyze and utilize that information for a campaign part. Okay, so based on a psychographic and demographic of your target audience, your website content also must change. Okay, now, what are the tools you can use? There are a lot of tools you can use about writing your content. There are a few things, a keyword density analyzer, which is I often use to check the density of the, someone give a 3-page content, I'll check with that, how much percentage of the keywords are there. So 3%, 5%, it gives you, keyword density analyzer. Copyscape will give you to check the plagiarism. One of the common things is today, people copy paste. Everything is there in Google. So copy paste, what you do, check the Copyscape, and 70% should be plagiarism free. Google recommend 80%. Is quite difficult these days. 70 to 80%, you take it as a plagiarism free, should not be copied more than 30%. 30%, I'm not saying it's a copy. When you write something about, usually that's a 30% will be there, but not beyond 30% should not be. Should be plagiarism free 70% plus. So you need to use this kind of a tool when you get a content, when you outsource your content, or you have a content writers, or someone you freelanced with you. Then you check with these kind of a tools to do that one. Okay. Then there's something called readability calculator based on website, how you put a content, etc. That's also good. Okay. Now, exactly, I'll tell you the Google Trends gives you, what is happening around news, etc. That's one. Then Google News also will give you a lot of new updates about different industries. Okay. And now after the deadline, you can actually, a completion of this, layout, and you can also check with the what do you say, the entire content portion. Is it compatible the way you are writing or not? You can do that one as well. Now, keyword density analysis I already told you about. Copyscape, especially about a plagiarism free. Okay, readability calculator, as I mentioned, it is how the people read and how much percentage the people do you think this can reach to this level, etc. They do that as well. Okay. Now I'm going to another business idea related to content, and It's a content selling platform. There's a internet business idea which is we are discussing now. So when you look at it, is various kinds of content writers are in the market now, and now people can start their own content writing business. That's exactly I'm talking about here. So there are entertainment copywriters, there are travel writers, then resume writers. Now we also have a healthcare copywriters, now kids parenting copywriters. All the things, when you are based on your site, you choose a niche, you have a different writers. So if you choose a one general person, he may not or she may not be able to write the way you want it. So you need to choose this kind of industry-based content writer. So business idea which I'm talking to you is basically based on these kind of a speciality. You can start a business where you provide content to the people. So any potential online business owner, your client, because every website owner is eagerly looking to get a content. So content is always a challenge. Even affiliate marketing, when you look at it, is you're a content-oriented website, your profit is double. Many of the companies ask you, are you a content-oriented website? If you're a content-oriented website, instead of 10% commission, they give you 20% commission. Some of the websites give you only CPM and CPA if you're a content-oriented website. So content has become very, very important. So where do you get this kind of content? So someone has to provide you. So that's the reason this idea, which I will recommend you to start your own content marketing website, content providing website, written by different specialty people. There is a copywriters, web content writer, white paper copywriters. So different language by written. Also, it's an important. You wanted to have not a Google Translate. Google Translate, you laugh. Sometimes Google Translate to your mother tongue, you might laugh that translation part. So here is a translation. It's important to have a manually write. So it depends upon the language you wanted. So Google Translate and give it to you. It's a different language one. Okay. So different language to different. So this is a very common because people are making more on a country-based and language-based. So it's an important part. So when we say country and city play a major role of the content aspects. Now, what is it? Because if you're targeting particular area, particular country, there are a few things happening around that, and you need to choose based that style of writing. Some of the words, you need to know what that meaning, and you need to have that in know. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, they always use something like la. Okay, la. Okay, so that's part of a writing as well. So it is a part of a writing. It is there. And there are some when the Indians speak, there's a Kerala speaking different from North Indians, and there's Arabic and English speaker, and even everything has a local touch of the writing, and you can really understand a multinational company or a company from abroad targeting you when you're looking at it, you cannot relate, you cannot connect it, and that become very, very important part. Different countries and different cities as well, and cities is again. Every city has its own peculiarities, specialities, and there are few things which the city you are living in. Some of the words only used in that particular city, and only use some brands for that particular city, and some events only for a particular city. And if you are not talking about something about that particular month, you are out of the world. For example, you are in September, August, September month. Something you're targeting a Kerala audience, and if you're not talking about something called Onam festival, you cannot relate to the consumer. So you're trying to do something in that festival, you're not connecting with anything to that festival, of national festival, they will not even connect with you. So that's the reason you should have that local touch. Now, someone you hire from, maybe from, you look at hire a freelancer from some part of the world, he or she may not be able to relate that. That's the reason you need a city-based writers as well. And sometimes we might do mistakes as well, and sometimes we have to also get into even to the legal issue. Some of the city has some words we cannot use it. And a classical example I'll tell you. Many cities name changes. Okay, the world lot of example, like a Catalonia, it's a recent example, and Burma become a Myanmar is another example. Now, same, my client had an issue like So some of the cities' name in India, it changed. Why it is changed is also a big question. Okay, there are cities like you say Bombay, now it's called Mumbai. Then Bangalore, it's actually Bengaluru. You cannot use a Bangalore, right? So there are cities like that they change. I don't know why they change. It's also a funny thing. British left 1947, and we changed that. The reason they're saying it is changed because the British changed the city name, so we are changing back. Okay, British left 1947. They waited 45, 55 years to change the name. You know why? They want to make sure that the British are not coming back. So if they change again, want to change. So we asked the British, are you sure you're not coming back? So we waited 50 years, they're not coming back, then we changed. Okay. Anyway, this is a funny thing, but my client got into trouble. He used the old name of the cities, like Bangalore and all the thing. So some people file a petition against the website because nothing else they could not find fault because he used. So we are not supposed to use some of the words, some of the way. When you Google it, you only get the old names, right? The Google comes to you the older, the first one. So people may not be knowing. So that's the reason more into a localized, more into country-based, more on city-based writing. But if you're targeting particular city part. So now these writers you can compile and start a business. And many website owners across the globe wanted this one. So you can hire people and put into your system, and the website owners can buy from your website. And you can actually charge per word, per article, and you can actually even categorize the standard writers, experienced writers, verified writers. You can also handpick. You say, I wanted a retired professor. When I say retired professor, one of my first businesses which I did, not online, online and offline together. So I did a business with one of the Singapore company called onlineuniversity.com. It's not there now, AIDA. So one of the big company. So they outsource the work. The outsourced workers, they used to give me a book. They say, they refer this book, buy this book. We wanted to be written in another language, not another language, another word, because of copyright issue. So if the outsourced work was, I take the website, buy this book, and hire. They wanted a retired professors to write about it, especially physics books and chemistry book and medical journals, etc. So retired professors, and this was a good job for a retired professor. They love it. At home, the retired one life, they know the topic, they look it and write another way. That's one of the things, the initial part. So that is called handpicked. They say, we wanted a physics professor to write this. We wanted a retired medical officer to write this. So something like that, you also get it handpicked way to have a people to have. So this is the way actually you can start your own website providing business if you want to start another business idea, which I just shared with you. You can have that one. Okay. So with this, we will cover actually the content portion of the website. Now, more about the content portion we'll talk about when we discuss about the campaigns and especially the SEO part, search engine optimization. We also cover a little more content when we are talking about remarketing and email marketing. So these two places we again come back to the content. But the basic of idea, I believe all of you have. So I believe all of you will manage your content the best. So happy content management. Okay. Now we'll move to the next part. Before that, I just want to tell you, if you would like to start something on a content business idea, which I spoke to you, you can contact Ms. Tanya. She's our content writer. Most of the PowerPoint, which you're seeing, actually, she is done a PPT, and she and Lebiba, those who are working in our content, you can reach her if you want to start a content writing business. So we'll help you to start your own content management website. All the website owners, any website owners, it's very easy to target. The mail you have to send website owners. I found these are the mistakes in your. There is a tool you can use after that line. You can use the grammatical corrections, and you can other mistakes you found this much it is, and your readability calculated this much. A report is sent you. Would you like to improve this one? Who will say yes? Because every website owner, most of the website owner, including myself, will not be happy about the website content. You need to improve. So that's a good business. If you like it, it's a good demand. If you put an effort to market, it's a great opportunity. Okay. So please reach AIDM@AIDM.QA to Ms. Tanya to start that part. Okay. Now we move to the yesterday we discussed about the website, website, landing page, funnel, domain, e-commerce solution, shopping cart, payment gateway. So now I'm just concluding all the things before we go to the how existing business go online. That's we are going to discuss on Wednesday. Tomorrow we have a Q&A session. Then Wednesday and Thursday we'll spend on how your existing businesses can go online. And that's a major topic we'll be covering and what are the things to be considered. But now today, in conjunction of that one and what we will discuss, I'm putting to the concise of a 25 factors to be considered to start an e-commerce business. The first thing, of course, to find your niche. There's no other way to start thinking. It's finding your niche. So this is the step. Make sure that is with the strategy number one, you choose that. What is the strategy number one? High demand, low competition. So those who don't know strategy number one, go to the first day of the workshop. So based on that, your niche to be done. Second one, based on the keyword, right? You need to find the right keyword for it and the profit margin. So all the thing and find your niche. I think this which date we have it is day 3. We have about the niche. So please go back and watch record number 3 and understand about the niche. Also understand about the strategy number 1 we discussed about. Okay, so that's the first thing. So once you have a niche in place, you can start off the thinking process of your your business. Now the first thing, you need to think about your customer. Who will buy the product? So many of the people immediately jump to how much money I record and how much profit I can make, etc. But the most important part is think about your customer. When you start a business like this, who will be your customer? What is the age group of the customer? Where are they located? What devices they will be using? Whether they're using a Windows-based or a Mac-based, their mobile application, or are they or more into Mac or more into Android? What kind of a lifestyle? What else the brand they're using? And what language they speak? What the age group of them? Everything you think about demographically and psychographically. Psychographically, think about what they like, what their attitude, what they're allowed to do, and what kind of a social media profiles they go, and what is the social needs of them, and what their self-esteem need, what they have it as, and what else they do, and what their spendings, what are the patterns, what are the preferences. All the things you need to list out about your customer. That's the first thing. Then you think about your brand. So these customers should think about your brand, what you want them to perceive about you. This two thought is the second step. So after your niche, think about these two aspects. So then you go to the third step. The third step is you're deciding a company name. Now you know how you name your company, right? Your domain name. So you need to have a domain number of your company. And your company can be a different name, but your domain can be a short form. Depends upon domain rule and branding rule. These two you need to consider again. The keyword, how the people find you online, and your your branding, your domain name, your keywords, and your customer, how they perceive. So this is the third stage. Here, actually, I recommend you take a mentor's help or IBC's help to finalize that name. The strategy is a very important strategical decision you are taking apart from the domain name. So domain name, once you finalize your name, you like the name, you are going at the name, immediately register that domain. Because even before you even spoke to your spouse, you need to register, because the moment people know that you're going to start a company like this, they register. So please make sure that is you don't lose that domain, and you protect that domain with you. Okay. Now, once you double check it is you understand this market or not. As I mentioned, a lot of examples. If you don't understand that market, please don't start that business. You need to understand about your customer. You don't understand about the products. You need to understand how the market works, just how the industry standards are, and what kind of terminologies and idioms they use it. It's all important for about your marketing, your knowledge aspects. Now, then evaluate the demand. So there, actually, your keyword research comes in the first place. And how many people are buying, kind of a market study, feasibility study, and how the demand is there or not, number of people, how often they buy, is it a seasonal products or I can only sell in season. All the things we need to evaluate before go to the next part, before going to invest for anything further. Now, the first and more foremost information you need to collect about from your competitors. First is who are your competitors, how big they are, how powerful they are, how they are doing, what are the method they're using, what kind of branding they're using, what are their pricing strategies, what are their marketing strategies, and how many customers they have, where are they from, and what are the challenges they're facing, how much money, the profit they're making. All the things you need to list out and understand about the competitor. And so you need to do copy pin, go to their social media, buy some product sometime if it's a cheaper price. You buy and experience it, how they're doing it, inquire about it. Don't, maybe you might not reveal your name. Call the customer care, call an inquiry generation, call us, go to the website and put an inquiry. They'll give you many information. This is an important step. And you also go and type it in Google first page and think about the keyword you're planning to finalize. And you can see the competitors or millions of them. So check at least the first 20, 30 pages who are there. I mean, first 2-3 pages, around 20 to 30 people, you can see how many people are there. So this competition analysis is very important. So once you are done that, then you want to sell the products or service. Most of the time you have a vendor. You may not be manufacturing. Some cases you may manufacturing. Then this is not important for you, but still your raw material is your vendor you are taking about. So once tomorrow I'm covering that aspect. Your existing business going online. Your vendor management is a big step because sometimes your scalability is huge. Sometimes you get a good impact. You cannot supply the products and you make a bad name, which I talk to you on a day after tomorrow when you talk about existing business going on. But usually in the case, you have a vendors for to supply your products. So select them even before you're investing money. All the things which I'm talking about, without investing, only the domain $12 you have to, if you're finalizing it, please do it before communicating anything. So before you invest money, these are the things you should do. Select your vendors. Okay. Now you understand the sourcing process. So sourcing process has a different style. How every product is sourced. Nowadays it's more simplified. Most of the products you can source from a drop shipper or a manufacturer, or you can do from B2B portal. You can also do merchant like Alibaba. So it's become very easy. But that's not enough. Some cases you have import-export issues. Some cases you have additional regulatory issues. Some cases you need to be some qualification. Some cases they will not give you the product because some like regulatory for some countries they don't supply. All the things you understand the sourcing process. Even such a small thing I'll tell you. I consulted a client in my hometown. Want to sell a fish. He wants to sell a fish online. So I was consulting with him. And these process of sourcing of the fish from the sea, I never thought that's complication. We buy the fish and eat fish. So easy. But the sourcing of the fish, there's a different boat goes, there's a different agent, there's a different brokers. You cannot one day go and start a fish business. You know that there is a lot of procedure for it. I never knew. And initially was first month I told him we'll do pilot. So he went to a normal market and started buying. So it was easy. But we found we're not making much money because less things happening, and the quantity suddenly increased. So we need to get into a larger scale to do. So then we try to contact so he said it's too complicated. Then when I involved, I never knew that kind of a business model exists, a fish business. So there is a government control, there's a regulatory, there is a agents, there is a boat owners, there is a first price, there's a second price, there's a booking, and then you need to get out from there is another money you have to pay there. So your pricing calculation, what the formula which I learned was not working. So you need to understand, it depends upon the product you're doing, and selling is a completely different. Some of the organic product, there's a company called Himalaya, you know that. It's like, they have a completely sourcing method of organic products is completely different. They source organic products in a much different way. They fund farmers initially and get sourcing fund. So that's another method of. So you need to think about how you source the product and you understand it. If you ask me to start and give a consulting to another fish company in my hometown, I say no. It's too complicated. One of the horrible things, because I took a responsibility, I cannot give as a consultant. I helped him because he was a startup, so I had to help him. But he did very well, okay? And what is it? There's even a video when we collect from the board, even send out social media images of the fish and say, these are the fish coming to your home today and you can buy. And the people who decide to buy other food after seeing this WhatsApp in the morning around 7 a.m., they even change their mind later, let's go for fish. That was a good strategy we came out on social media. So similarly, this sourcing part is important, depends upon what you source on it. Now, I think another example I told you about B2C, an example when I spoke to you about niche business, a crochet. So crochet. So the one lady has a hobby she was doing, and her raw material, whenever she go for shopping, she just buy from there. But the moment it scaled up next level, local vendor, he said, why you wanted this many? She said, I wanted. He said, I don't have it. In the benefit of wholesale, you could not. Finally, she started sourcing from the manufacturer directly. So you need to think about how big level your business increases. Based on that, the process to be done. Okay. Then go for a set up the website. Okay. So most of the people immediately, even before finalizing the niche, even before the branding as well, they go order them website. So yeah, that's the reason most of the website designing company give you domain name free. So then give you or a domain name part of the package, because they ask you, after you pay the money, they ask you what the domain you wanted. This one is free. So, okay, that's not the style. You need to have, as we have discussed, you administrative contract, domain ownership with you. That's your ownership. Never miss that. So do not give it out. So then go and set up the website in the 9th step. So yesterday, therefore, yesterday, 3 days we discussed about the setup of the website, so only 9th step. So that's the reason, I started with the, strategy number 1, then niche, then USP. So that should be the order to start the business aspect. Now, you also to think about, make a list, how are you going to deal with the content, which we just discussed. You'll have an in-house content writer, or you outsource, you have a freelancer, or you have someone else to do, or are you capable to do yourself? Or can you find somebody virtual? All the things you can take in consideration, and you need to start working this up as a thing. Then, 2 things I seen one of the common mistake with the people is the pricing. Even recently, very recently in Doha, one of our clients, she said, I have a good sale, but I'm not making profit because the costing part they did a mistake. Pricing, how you price it is a very, very important, and sometimes customers may not understand how you manage it is, but you should understand it is. Sometimes you amortize the price, okay, for something else, and sometimes you have a hidden cost. There is a spillovers. So there are price, there are diminishing cost. There is the exchange rate. There's a transaction rate, package cost, manpower cost, and then you also should have a kind of a backup plan that something out of the 10. One might, one might go damage. So you need to add that price also to that. So like this, everything you need to have a very good calculation of pricing. And you are new to the business. If you don't know this, take someone help, some consultant help, some chartered accountant help. Please make sure that is you do a kind of a sample calculation and put all of this in an Excel sheet. Make sure that is your price is done. Once you customers pay, you may not understand the later part on what the pricing meeting on it. Okay. Now, as an inventory part, it's again, so it's also important if you're making your own stock and you're keeping your own inventory, you need to consider all the aspects. And you also think about inventory, how you keep it on. Most of the people who start a business, they try to do inventory themselves. Usual cases actually don't record. This I have been telling many people, but they don't listen. They think traditionally that's not the way. I agree. That's not the way. This digital business is different. For example, you have a client in US and you're operating from, let's say you're operating from UK and your manufacturer is in China. Now, to the products to deliver to US, it don't necessarily to come to UK and go to US. From China directly can go to US. Yes or no? You don't even come to that your house and put in your garage and pack it and pack it. Not necessary. Your inventory can be automated. Inventory can be virtual. Inventory you can buy online. You can buy a corner of the fulfillment centers, maybe 10 boxes, 20 boxes. They will pack it and pack it. They'll dispatch. You only manage through that the web through online. It's easy. So you need to plan that inventory as well. Okay. Then again, same thing with the logistic arrangement. So we discussed a couple of days ago, and therefore yesterday, about the pre-integrated logistic. That's an important aspect. So instead of you're tying up different companies, you keep it doing it as a logistic arrangement by taking an online solutions part. Then service and support. So now you're selling up products, electronic products, or any other products. The service and support. This gives you a big headache for you if you don't take care. So what are the services that customers expect after that? Maybe installation, So furniture, sometimes delivery after installation will be there. So electronics has an installation. Then some kind of a support, how you fix this one, and maybe warranty issue, guarantee issue, and components and additional blah blah blah. So it's an important part. So this is you have to take care of. Now, payment and refund returns. And so here is how you accept the payment. Okay, what are the things you are buying? Are you accepting credit card? Are you accepting debit card? And are you accepting wire transfer? Are you accepting cryptocurrencies? And all the things you listed, what are going to you accept? Are you accept loyalty reward for universal loyalty reward program or your own loyalty program? Are you accepting coupons? Are you accepting vouchers? Like so many lists, how do you take it? Think about all the mode of payment they give you. And you also think about refund policies. Refund policies depends on the product you sell it. You need to have a good policy. And most of the time, you have to depend on your manufacturer or a supplier for the refund and also returns. Why? Because you don't have a DV. He's not taking back. You may lose the profit. So you have to go back and do. So whatever he promised you, you need to extend. Then plus, of course, the same thing for a refund as well. The refund is how much percentage you can afford to refund. And if it is a refund, is there many of your commissions, like affiliate commission, etc., don't keep it for immediate delivery. That's on Amazon. If you become an Amazon affiliate, they don't give you first 30 days because they have a refund policy of 30 days. They'll give you after 30 days the commission. They hold because customer take back the products. Take back the money and give you back the product. They cannot give you the commission. So this is called payment and refund and returns is important aspect. You make sure that is you understand this one. And depends on the market. I showed you last time. If you are doing a US, India, Brazil, you can expect around 30 to 40% will be refund. They will ask you money back. They return you the products. Okay. Like in Japan and China, you have less than 5%. So in Japan, it will be hardly 5%. Not even 2% will not be, because it's not part of culture. They accept the decision. They will not come back to you. I took a decision. They honor. They stand for. But no, that's a good client. So you get it from Japan. Okay. So you have a very less number of refund policy comes there. Okay. Then of course the security of your website in all the aspects, the payment aspect, your SEO aspects, your data aspects is important. You need to be extra careful about it. The most important part of a regulatory compliance of whichever country you're dealing with. First of all, which company you registered, you have a lot of responsibility what you're dealing with. So make sure that is you comply with that regulator. And plus some of the market you're dealing with, when your physical delivery is there, and you might get into trouble, you may not be knowing some of the things marketed. When you look at it as some of the product, the best affiliate marketing, I do not involve when I listed out to give you other day affiliate marketing, right? I give you around 35 to 50 different, no, I can give you 100 affiliate list. That 100 affiliate list, actually I removed few best one. Why? Because it's not regulatory compliant. The best one is not regulatory compliant. That's an important major part. It's a UK and Canada. This is a great, products, fantastic commission, 45%, 65%, great tool, great method, great support. It's not regulatory compliant. In many other countries, you can promote. So you need to understand what products to which market you can cater, what you should not do. So part of a regulatory. I know you'll have a lot of questions. I'll take the question into the mastermind. I cannot talk on the product in a public, this way. In the mastermind, I'll answer you that kind of a product, why it is important for a regulatory compliance. It's not something illegal. It's illegal in different part of the world, but some part of the world is not. Okay. I'll talk to you on the mastermind chat in detail about it. Okay. Now, another most important part is your trusted payment gateway. So people are paying money online and coming to your bank account. So this is very important. So here you need to understand little about the process, how it happens. I spoke to you 2 days ago about payment gateway, and give you that time I told you in bits and pieces. I'll keep adding it is about the credit card process. Now, how this model works, the credit card business works. You accept Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and then there's so many, acquirer, that entity called acquirer, like a Visa, Master, American Express, like. So they have something called members and they have something called merchants. So we are the members. We go to the merchants and we buy a products and we pay exact amount. If you go to a restaurant, we go to a shop, like it's $100, we pay $100. We're not paying extra, right? Sometimes you get points, in fact. But the merchants are actually paying around 2.5% to 5%. It is It depends upon the merchant, depends upon the acquirer. It also change. So merchants are. Why was it? No, I have a question. Why the merchants are paying? Why should the merchants pay? In another word, if I go to a restaurant, I dine at for $100. If I pay cash, entire $100 will be with that restaurant, right? But the same time, I pay through my card. Tomorrow in his account, he's get a less than 2.5%. You only get a 97.5% to his account. So why he should accept a merchant or merchant accept the card? Because there are so many things, so many things. Couple of things. One, the acquirers say to the merchant, I'm sending you more customers. The customers buy, and then basket size increase, buy more often, and you attract more customers. So many things are. That's the reason everywhere today people prefer to accept the cash, to accept the card than the cash. So this is the model part. We look at acquirers and the enrolled members, the enrolled merchants, and that's a basic model of the credit card. Now, you need to understand business. I'm evaluating this is another day on a payment gateway, but just for your understanding, one day I don't want to load you with information. So basic understanding you should have. Here is now how we get as a members, how we get a credit card. Now, credit card or a debit card usually issued by a bank. So I'm talking about credit cards now. So a lot of issuers, issuers are like a Citibank, HSBC Bank, or a national bank. It's a different kind of a bank across the globe. They usually issue the card. So they are called issuer. So you have a Visa, then you have a different companies like different banks. There are companies like different banks as well as airlines also issue. There is something called co-branded card, sometimes issued by bank, but there is a co-branded with that. But a majority of the time, the issuers are the banks, they issue the card. Now, this business model become very successful. Why? When you look at this, before even coming to the bank, so actually this business is not started by the bank, by the way. It started by a company in a very small town, around 1,400 people living city. They started this. When you look at it is this way. Now, I go to the merchant, I say, I buy a product from you, and my salary come on at 10th or 15th of next month, I'll pay you after that. Merchant actually don't have an option because he's my customer, but if I don't give him the credit, he'll not come back to me. And plus, I had to put my capital. Because some 45 days, sometime I had to put my capital to serve that customer. So this opportunity is actually realized by the merchants. The acquirer, like a Visa Master. They told the members, I'll give you credit. You have a salary. You have an income monthly. I'll give you 45 days of credit. You pay in time. I'll not charge you interest. So people thought I'll buy the card. I take the card. When my salary comes, any of this I'm paying. So that's the way it started. But there is a big issue here. Here is actually a behavioral issue, right? So I'll tell you that's the issue. Before that, it was a good thing about merchants had a point of view. When you look at it, it was a great product. Even though people don't have the money, they spend. They don't have to wait for 45 days to get the payment. They get a payment the next day. And customers started buying more because you're not paying money now. So that's a human tendency. You know that credit card, when many other people's life is hell. So that's a way, anyway, consumerism increase, people start spending. Merchant love this product. Now, before the bank realizes this, the credit card comes out and the credit card puts this product and they told the bank, hey, use my product. You give to all your customers. So they got a lot of captive customers. The captive market is the best thing for a Visa MasterCard card because every bank had a account holders. So they told him that bundle with the account, I'll give you a debit card, I'll give you a credit card. It's basically a business for them. Okay, so that's a captive card. Plus the logistic support. That's the logistic support. Now Visa and MasterCard sitting in US, they kept it to all the places. They did not come with a terminal. They did not come with anything. They only simply set a standard. Look at that business model. Just they put a standard. They say you use any card, this is standard. Use any terminal, this is standard. We have a server you can connect to us. That's it. Everything, there's something called the terminal. Everything actually bank and issuers did it. Then there is something called merchant issuers. Then bank thought, why should we take this headache? They outsource, saying that is, hey, can you issue a merchant to us? So this is a standard we got it. Can you? This is how we bought it. Bank said we bought this manufacturing around 50,000, 100,000. So they give to the merchant issuer, go and get the merchant to associate with us. They outsource. So that's a business model worked on. So for your understanding, this is the way it works on here. Now, the drawback of this product was the credit drops. People started spending, no control on that. And people understood, oh, I'm not able to pay back 45 days time. Then there is a very huge interest. So 2%, it's become around 36% and 48% and all that kind of interest and compound interest. And people like become, then people understood it's a kind of a trap. Then they come about another product called debit cards. The debit cards are the products, basically a banking product. Before the bank realizes that product, the credit card company product. You think about here, bank is such a large industry. They did not see this small opportunity. Not a small opportunity, it's a huge opportunity that we start. They just, credit card companies came out of a debit card product and told the bank, hey, you can use this. Your own account holder, their own savings bank account. They go to your city, some other merchant, and you use my system and pay me 0.5%. It's an amazing thing. That who think first, they get the benefit. They thought about it. That's the reason bank now. Same technology, same system. And of course, there are little advantages was there, something called interoperability. What is interoperability? You have a Visa card, you're a MasterCard, off-issued one country, you go to another country, it's also accepted there. You're in one city, you're buying something from here, going to another city, another merchant of the another bank, still the card accepted. This is the good thing, and of course the branding. So this is actually evolved. Then there's a 2.5 to 5%. This 2.5 entire thing Visa will not take it. 0.5 the Visa are taking, another 0.2 will go to the bank. 0.3 will go to the who is issued. 0.1 will go to the person issued the card, and there are a few things for a co-branding. So like that, they started sharing this the percentage they collect from the merchants. Okay, so this is the model they worked on. So same model, when you look at it, is you are this side of the, now you are not just a card holder. Now you are a merchant here. Now you have a different set of people coming with you. This system is a very complicated system if you look into. You have Visa card, you have MasterCard issued by different banks across the globe. You have a debit card, and you also have something called prepaid card. You also have a varx card. You also have a gift card. So many different entities has come from different acquirers, not just like a Visa and MasterCard like earlier. Now we have hundreds of acquirers. All the things you are accepting your website. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware. You have a declining offer from the acquirer. So, for example, you are the card holder. You have the right to decline your credit card. Hope you know this one. Many people don't do, but it's a very common. Okay. So biggest issue. So most of the time they bought the product, they decline the card, you are the loser. So when I was in Malaysia, this was a very common issue. All the consultant trainers were facing. So usually we do a weekend, the workshops. Now Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, Sunday, suppose a person come for on the spot, he signed the card. He attend the program Saturday and Sunday. And Monday is a banking day. By Monday, he'll actually simply decline the card. So we will lose the, maybe around 10,000 to 20,000. It's a fees in 2 days of 10,000, 20,000 Malaysian ringgit we charge, which is declined. So we get surprised on it. How come he declined? Then bank say, he declined. Then we have to prove that he was there. He said, no, I never been there. It's okay. So, that's the reason I think those who attended my offline workshop, you might have noticed, I used to take the photograph the day first before the lunch. You notice that? Because people think, why this fellow, everybody usually takes the second day, the last, if it's a 2 days workshop. This habit I bought because of this issue. So people take a card and attend the program, second evening is go. So this one, before the program, I took everybody's photographs. I made sure his signature and photographs is with me to go to the bank. It's there. Then second issue, this problem we addressed is all we who conduct the workshops and training and consultants, we put a website and putting this people declining the card in that. So whoever come for a spot registration will check in the website, is the blacklisted list or not. So, but my point here is, you accept the card, you can decline, especially downloadable product and services. You may not be able to do. So you should be very careful on this aspect. Okay, when you accepting the card, and should not decline, and you deliver the products and okay. So this products when you take it, you can, as I mentioned, you can take from third party, you also take from the banks, and you make sure that is all the credit card, debit card, all the things you accept and money comes to you. And you also take care of the minimum thing, which are the things, initial part, the initial charges, and the ongoing charges. Initial charges, some companies charges around $1,000, maybe $500, $200. Some company gives you free, some company give you next cashback. So it depends upon what provider you are taking. Now, initial charges and every transaction, as you mentioned, 2.5, some cases much lesser than that. So after the checkout, the money can be, you can also set for offshore bank and all. This is one of the questions so many people ask me. Again, tomorrow I'll be answering that. Okay, so this is this portion you need to be very careful, because this is the money coming in. You need to have multiple credit cards and debit card, and if you are not, many things you are not able to. It's not necessary immediately jump and sign, listening to the bank, and keep negotiating with the bank. Now I'm not happy about what they're offering, and the hell of the money they're taking out. So I said, no, I don't want. I keep negotiating and going back. So it's negotiable. You can actually negotiate for the that quantity. Okay. Now, integrate. Next point is, once you have it is the payment gets done, then you know the people comes and check out from you, and integrate that customer shopping experience with your social media connected with that. So that's an important step. You need to have it on. Okay. Now they share their social media profiles, etc. So even some of the thing, while doing a shopping itself, people allow you, even before you're putting into the checkout, you share with the friends and ask opinion. That's one of the best methods I could see on it. Okay. Now, localization important. Language, currency, multi-language, multi-currency you can set up. Now, customer relationship manage and personalization. It's a very, very important tool for the day. These days, people expect that to happen. And the platform you are using, the website and everything you're planning to do, you should be able to scale it up next level. Okay, it depends upon how you look into. Sometimes you're doing a pilot like us. I'm doing a pilot. I'm not looking to scale up this one. I'm scaling up to another platform, a blockchain platform. But actually, I want to do a pilot. So maybe use that way. Then you should have vision how to migrate. Or you want to do today, you want to start with 100 merchants, 100 customers, 100 products. Then you want to do expand. You can do that one as well. But you need to use a scalable plan. And I also make sure that even though you start alone, so many things you can do. Even I'm keep telling in between that is you need to have a consultant. You need to freelance virtual assistant for your content writing. So make sure that you have this in place. I'm not telling you to employing them. I'm talking about a relationship. You have a social media influencer for social media part. You have a content writer. You have vendors to arrange something. You have a payment gateway and the tax part. You have a tax person to help you. So that's a people in place with you before you're setting up a good e-commerce part. Now, you also talk about understand about the marketing campaigns and the requirements. So that should be initially itself, you should have it. So because once you set up, don't look for a customer. The moment you set up, you need to have a lot of customers. You need to create a buzz before that. I'll come to you at that point. Okay. Now, this is a marketing requirement. Okay. Now, integrate external system like a supplier and other stuff, which I talked to you earlier. The logistic part will also keep it there. Now, create a buzz, the word actually I said. So the moment you start a business, you need to get a lot of hit in the website in all the aspects. One is your SEO aspect. One you're creating a trend, people are something happening with it. And the moment you start a business, your recurring expenditure is on. So you make sure that you have good sales is happening. So you make it ready in the market before that. You may do pre-launch activities, you do launch activities, even you can do a pilot activities. You can actually say that I'm doing a market survey, but do real business. All the things before you're starting a business, you need to do. This is creating a buzz. And you can have a launch offer, and you can do a lot of brand building exercise. So the moment you are up and running, you have evidences and other people to come and buy from you. Then another important aspect, this is one important thing I just want to tell you in social media plan. If you don't start with the social media plan, it's never happened once you start a business, including us. That's an issue. We don't have a proper, we thought of it too easily. When many of them we know social media, even I become more confident, we know social media. But the social media plan is a very important. If you're not planning that, it won't work properly. So you need to have at least a 3 months plan or a 1 year plan. Make it, and even the creatives should be ready for a month. That's the way you should work it. Some people say even the entire campaign of a quarter, entire campaign in 1 year. So please make sure that You prepare a super plan and you have it in place. We'll discuss this about when we discuss the social media plan. Okay. Now, mobile commerce plan. So mobile checkout, mobile devices, iOS and App Store you have planning to do. You have planned to do Android Store. So you need to have a plan for separate, or you may start with just simply about a mobile optimized website. You need to make a plan how it works on it. Okay. So you also should have a content management updated one, and make sure that is the content, how often you edit, and how whatever content you need to change. You need to have a complete dashboard access for that. Now you give a reason for our customers to buy these products, and now here is everything is a matter. Why should I buy from you? Especially in the beginning stage, you are creating a buzz. You need to have many good offers to put to start off. Immediately to buy from you. And why should they buy from you? That's the reason USPs. No, you need to list out your USP. Tell the customer, I'm the best. I'm the first. I get a better price. I have a better quality, and I have more features of the products. And all the things you should highlight and make them, because they are already buying the product from somewhere else, and they should come to you. Okay, and a few set of consumers and customers shift from one merchant to another merchant, which changes the future of the both merchants. So your business, when you are starting, they're already buying from somewhere. Most of the cases, very less chances you create a new market, right? So now when you have when you plan to create a new market, it's too tough. So basically, the consumers, the competitors, the consumers are already buying. So why should they come and buy from you? This is one question. Okay. So this you need to answer even before you go to the before the ninth step, before you're putting a maximum money for your online business to start. You think about why should the customer buy from me? So one is maybe you rank in a Google first page. It can be, but still he comes to the website. If he does not like it, he leaves it. Yes or no? So your price, your quality, your availability, your brand, your features, time. So this time, for example, now COVID-19, you are offering a mask and gloves for gloves to buy. There's a time. Maybe festival season, maybe that's a kind of an event that's happening, like a football World Cup is happening, Olympics are happening. So all these things you need to put in a list. Why should person buy my products when I launch a website? If you are not finding a reason, please don't start a business. You don't gamble. Then you go to a gambling center. Okay. Then it's become a real gambling. Right? So if you don't know this one, if you don't know the 24th answer, why should a person buy from you? The reasons why should they buy from you? This you need to answer before starting a business. It's so sure. Okay. This and this value and how you value it is that they add value or not. So this is a very, very important question. Please answer it before you go to start that one. Now, here is a technology aspect when it comes to that. Be productive with the technologies. That is now we discussed so many things about last 4 days now. We discussed the website, we discussed the landing page, we discussed the funnel, we discussed also about the mobile optimized website, mobile applications, and we may have a smartwatches, we have a goggles, we have a shoes, we have a IoT products, and you have a AI integrated with that, and you have blockchain platforms, you have drones, and you have so many with the technologies now. And everybody has a tools, plugins, add-ons, so many other things also. So all the things is not about how the thing you're using. It's important how you use it and what the benefit you're using. And how automate. This is a very, very important. Every company today in the world, especially after COVID-19, they're thinking about automation. Earlier, it was around 50% of the things they're trying to automate. Now they're talking about 70% how we can automate it. So I had a staff member, she's from Tokyo, and she joined with our company, and she had a fantastic job with the Toyota. So I asked her why you are leaving that job and joining it. She said, my job is every day go to the manufacturing centers. My problem is I cannot see any humans there. Everything is a robot. I get scared because when I walk through around 300 meters to the hall and nobody's there around me, and I feel scared every day. Every day I should do this 3 rounds. I'm fed up, so I want a human interaction. So she joined our event team. We said, I want to meet a human. Okay. So but my point here is, every industry is automating. So those who are looking for a job, I just want to tell you this one. You think you are losing a job or a verge of losing a job because 1 billion people are going to lose a job. That's a reality. So, or you'll have a pay cut of 70%, 50%, 40%, which is also reality. So now you need to adapt. If you're not becoming an entrepreneur, you're continuing to become a professional. Then you need to adapt. Everything is going to be automation. So where you can stand in automation, that's a fourth question. You may be with AI, you may be with the IoT. You think about an artificial intelligence or machine learning, or you're going with IoT. That's a portion. Now come back to the entrepreneur's point of view. Now everything you think about a business, automation is a key, even online businesses. Now you see that is why people like the YouTube when we talk, because it's automated. Why people like AOBB? Because it's automated. So everybody wanted automation. With less work and more result. That's a human habit now. Now, even to the consumer point of view, I just don't want to have 5 to 7 clicks. I want 2 clicks to about it. It's many other companies has changed that. Now we are also moving about it as a voice command. With voice, I can say, buy it. Do it. It's already doing with Alexa, right? So you say, buy it, add it to the shopping cart. Even IoT, you don't even say, it's looking at your pattern, they add it to the shopping cart. So this is the way our technology is moving. So think about how best you use for all these new technologies, whether it's IoT, whether it's AI, whether AR, augmented reality, or a virtual reality, or a blockchain, or a cryptocurrencies, or drones, robotics, and machine learning. All the things, a new thing is around us. It's not expensive the way we thought. It's a damn cheap. It's cheaper than what we used to have before, computers and website. Many plugins, $17, $12. You get amazing plugins which automate. So that's it. No, $17, $12, $13 is the major tools in a monthly pay. That's easy for us to use it. An amazing AI which comes with the $12. IoT services come to $45. And so many things is not such a cheap price with a SaaS model, very conveniently coming to us. So it's important for us to utilize this platform, the opportunity for us scaling it up. So it should be productive. It's not only utilizing, it's a productive. Now, another way, when you look at it is, I know so many people make money without a website. Not necessary for you to have a website. Some cases, just a blog is enough. Some cases, sometimes it's just a WhatsApp is enough. Some cases, sometimes your just forum is enough. So you don't have to have a technology itself. Only that is enough to start up the business. Like, when I talked about a YouTube the other day, you don't record a website, you don't record any landing page, you don't record nothing, just a YouTube page, just a YouTube channel. That's it. And you have few tools to automate the people to come to your videos and also to rank according to the YouTube algorithm, and also ranking in Google. That I'll talk to you on a YouTube day in detail. So it's automation. So the productive, when I hear the first thing, remember automation. So there you save a cost, you save a time, save an effort, and productivity increases. And plus, you also can scale it up, and your cost will come down. So all the things is the most productive part you need to think about and before doing that. Okay. Now, so with this, that 25 part will be complete. So make sure that is all the thing you have it is with you to start as if you record the minimum level. Then AI, VR, AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, IoT, blockchain, everything in the coming days we'll discuss about it with a different business model. But even all the segment people are moving to this kind of thing, we'll see how we can integrate with that. So that's the reason I would like you to finish all the recording. I know some of you are joining first day today, some of you joined yesterday. So go back to the recordings and watch and go with the sync. Now, here, day by day, we talk about more and advanced technologies, now better strategies and new business models, etc. So it will be easy for you to understand more about it, and it will not be too much intimidating with that. Okay, so this with this I'll conclude here. Now, one thing I want to talk to you is one of my team members informed me there are so many people are not getting mentors. So you need to send a mail to the mentors at adm.qa and say about which city you're from and what language you want it. You can also choose around 10 languages. So we, of course, this evening presentation in English, but you can have a different mentors in different languages. So we are doing in English, Arabic, French, Spanish, Tabalu and Bangla, Urdu, Hindi, and Tamil and Malayalam. So we have these languages mentors. You can choose. You can choose when we'll allot you based on what your requirement in these 10 languages. Please use that one on a daily basis. And the 30 minutes you get a free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. And you meet. Before that, I would recommend you go through the download and take the notes and try yourself. And then when the mentors 30 minutes spend with you, take their best of the 30 minutes of time. Okay. So please do. And in case you have a difficulty to finding a mentors or mentors are not in touch with us, please send a mail to mentors@adm.qa. We will arrange a mentors for you. Okay. And those who are a premium mentors, I believe all of you got the mail. You also got the access to the premium area where it has so many things are coming up. This just started now, only recordings and other tools. We have so many things coming up. So please go and do that part. Okay. Now, tomorrow we have a Q&A session, and some of you already sent an email to us some questions. And today or tomorrow, when you get a mail, we'll have another forms where you can ask your questions with your putting your name, email ID, phone number, WhatsApp number, country, your there. Okay. So then we will answer that question. So tomorrow's session is actually, there is no specific topic. Anything about a digital entrepreneurship you can ask, specifically to last week, but we'll take any questions tomorrow. Usually I say you only ask the questions on per topic. No, every week you can ask any questions about your starting a business. So many people ask me about the video call for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. As you may be knowing that we are in the preparation of a championship. Championship is October 8th to November 7th. If you can also participate, you will make you $100 per day. $3,000 first month will show you how you make money online. So we are doing a lot of preparation for that. Apart from this 100 days challenge, 100 days challenge end is the 7th of October. It's very next day our championship starts. So most of the time I'm spending on that. So I may not be able to give you much time for that. So, but you can ask the specific one. We will answer that is on every Tuesday. So tomorrow Tuesday, you can send out the even question before 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock of Qatar time. We'll take the questions answer. And if we also give you this opportunity for you. If you're an entrepreneur, you already have a website, you already have a blog, or you have a social media influencer, you can send out a question with this, and we can actually show this one to the people. So you can also leverage this one. But for that, please don't ask. Yeah, we will choose a question that way. So you ask one, you will also promote you as an entrepreneur. Your name, your email ID, phone number, your URL will also publish in the question. Who asked this question based on this one? Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Today we are 11th day we completed, and I really enjoyed today's session as well. I believe all of you got a little more insight about the content and as well as the e-commerce aspect. So with this conclude a major portion. Now tomorrow Q&A, Wednesday, how an existing businesses, that's the COVID-19 time, every retailer, every business owner, every service provider thinking about how I can have a business, I can go to online and automate it and make a website. So this this portion I'll be covering tomorrow in detail. Not tomorrow, it's Wednesday and Thursday about this one. Okay, so I'm looking forward to see you on DevChat tomorrow as well, and tomorrow for a Q&A as well. Now, all the people who are joined as a premium members, I'll see you as usual in the mastermind chat room and to discuss about in detail about e-commerce and what we covered the last 4 days. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to meet you on tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.